Here this evening to talk about this historic nomination is former classmate and now South Texas College of Law professor Njeri Rutledge. Good evening to you. You went to college with Judge Jackson. What was she like then, and how do you think she's evolved?
I went to law school with Judge Jackson, and she has always been just a kind-hearted person. I look at her as short but mighty. So she's very petite in frame, very serious, but a great sense of humor and really down to earth. And she still has those qualities today. She was always a rock star. You know, I worked really hard at Harvard Law School, but she took it to a next level. She was very, very focused, very focused on achieving her dreams. And I just think she was made for this moment, honestly.
Yeah. Have you been able to follow Judge Jackson's career and keep in touch?
I have followed her career. We do keep in touch through social media. We're Facebook friends, but I have not actually spoken to her in several years.
But have you sent your well wishes on the nomination?
Absolutely. I've sent messages to her. She has sent messages back. She's doing very well and really excited.
Now, she has to go through the nominee process. How do her qualifications stack up, Professor Rutledge?
Oh my goodness. The president and Vice President Kamala Harris did an excellent job of thoroughly taking time to vet and consult with other people to make sure they identified the most qualified people. And they narrowed it down to 3. And I have to say they made a fabulous choice with Judge Brown Jackson. First of all, she was a rock star even in high school. She was leading oratorical contests, and she was president of her student body. In college, she graduated with honors at Harvard College as she studied government. Harvard Law School, she graduated with honors, and she was elected as one of the editors for the Harvard Law Review, which is very prestigious. Following graduation, she clerked for 3 different judges. One who was based on a Republican appointee, the other based on a Democratic appointee, and of course her final judicial clerkship was for none other than Justice Stephen Breyer, who, if everything goes well, she will be replacing. She has been a federal district court judge for over 8 years, so she has a tremendous amount of experience. She has published well over 500 opinions, and she was rarely reversed as a district trial court judge. Now she's at the DC appellate court level. So she's got just so much experience. She was vice chair of the sentencing committee. She served as a federal public defender, and this will be the first time we've had someone who's been a federal public defender on the Supreme Court if she succeeds in this process. Thurgood Marshall was the last Supreme Court justice that we had who ever defended anyone. She is committed to the Constitution. Her reputation is stellar. So in some, President Biden has selected someone who is extremely qualified, who's competent, who plans to follow the Constitution and uphold the rule of law. So he's done a wonderful job.
All those qualifications and your praises, we still know there will be obstacles or possibly challenges she will have to overcome to win the nomination, especially going through this process. What would those be, quite possibly, do you think?
I think actually the biggest obstacle will be partisan politics. We've already heard some chatter and people trying to attack the fact that Joe Biden said that he would nominate a Black woman, first of all, which was really ridiculous because all he did was follow in the footsteps of Ronald Reagan, who said he would nominate a woman, and Donald Trump, who said he would nominate a woman. I also think there may be pushback because of some of her decisions, but if you actually read her decisions, she is very fair and balanced in the law. So there's going to be a deep dive in the decisions that she has made, but I think if anyone actually takes the time to read and consider her decisions, they will see just how brilliant she is. The wonderful thing about Ketanji is that she doesn't have an agenda. She is going to focus on following the Constitution, upholding the rule of law, regardless of where it falls. And I think there are going to be people who will embrace that and some people who will be disappointed, because in this day and age, we're so divided. People really want you to just take sides. Ketanji is going to be fair. And in the end, that's what we need from our Supreme Court justices.
Mm-hmm. If elected, she would be following or replacing, rather, Justice Breyer, who's been considered a moderate liberal voice. Would you categorize her as the same?
I would. I think she would follow in the steps of her mentor. I think one thing that Justice Breyer is also known for is being collegial and being a consensus builder. And that is something that Judge Jackson already has a great reputation for being. She was a consensus builder in law school. She was a consensus builder when she was on the sentencing committee, and she will be a consensus builder in the court.
Finally, what does this nomination mean for the court and judicial diversity?
This nomination is epic. In over 233 years, we have never had a Black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I actually never thought I would see this day. So it is a joyful moment. It's a joyful moment for Black women in the legal field. It's a joyful moment for African Americans, period. But I also think it's a joyful moment for everyone who respects the rule of law and our Constitution. She is truly an American success story. She's worked hard all of her life for this moment, and she has earned this moment. So it is just tremendous. I also think it's particularly special that she gets to, if successful, replace the very justice she clerked for and who has mentored her.